get out of people's way. So, honestly, I was excited for this set in particular being able to finally pop up because now we do got the option to interview, actually tiny folk as opposed to just everybody's Godzilla, huh? And you are certainly going to be the first of the tiny interviewees, so there you go, there you
I'm
go.
gonna lead them all.
You shall lead the charge of the tinies across the chocolate table. Chocolate table.
Is it edible though? I never knew of that.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, it is chocolate. As far as I know, it's edible.
well, I thought it's just just kind of props.
That's fair. But the other day, Tal ate a building in her interview, so I'm gonna go with it's edible because more inedible has been eaten on the show.
It's edible if you're brave enough.
It's edible if you believe, indeed. And indeed it is for hello, hello. Welcome to Shenanigans.
Hello.
Alright. We've killed our minute and a half or so. So, let's get on with the introductions and the hellos. First things first, as always, welcome to Big Squeak Inc. This time with, well, Small Squeak. I'm your host, as usual, Saru. Cloudy over there is, fighting a cold or something, so... Yeah, they're going to be a little bit more dying than usual, which is... Well, that's not quite a good thing. But, yeah. And our guest for the day, do you want to introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Stary. StaryNighte in full. Just a tiny little mouse, apparently orange in color. I suppose that's it.
Oh, that'll certainly do for introduction.
Oh, I've also streamed. I think that's
Oh,
all.
streaming, yeah.
Yeah.
We do have your link, I believe, set up in the command as well this time, because I remember to set up the command this time, so if you use exclamation squeak in chat, you can and catch their
What
links.
happens the other times?
The other time, I just forgot to do the command and was like, oops. So, yep. That should be the correct link to their Twitch page. Here's hoping. And if you're watching this in the future in YouTube, it will be in the description as well. So, yada yada blah blah blah. All that good jazz setting up. I've started growing used to interviewing 600-foot tall people. It's kind of odd to see a guest over there that, could literally fit in my hand. Hey, and Ryu trying to tell people to sip already, huh? Hey. Alright. Well, with all that introductory stuff out of the way, Stary, hello, hello. We're going to start with a couple of questions just directly about you.
Sure,
the link's
sure
good.
Thing,
Thank you
sure
for.
Thing.
So, well, the basic question is just, who are you? Which I think we've gotten some attempt to answer, but you want to take another shot at it? Who is Stary? Who are you? In character, out of character, whichever.
If I don't think there's any in character or out of character for me, because for me, Stary is just me in general.
Fair.
So
fair.
I would say I'm just an artist. Well, that's also isn't correct. I would love to use an entertainer as just a prefix. Just an entertainer.
You do as you do, huh?
And I'm also just still a student. I think there's a lot. There's not a lot of me, if I say so myself.
Well, I mean, you are very small on table, but I think there's a lot of stories that people don't give credit for when they have to, just be put on the spot. Who are you? Or why are you interesting? I'm sure we'll get something interesting out of you throughout this, huh?
Is kind of a big question.
Yeah, it is a big question. So let's narrow it down a little. So, One question I like to ask, especially of anybody who is, mouse, rat, hamster, whatever people decide to be,
Mm-hmm.
what led you to being a mouse? Or rather, in some cases, what led a mouse to being an artist? Why a mouse
Uh,
doing what they do?
that's just. I think that it mostly come from my experiences as like in my lifetime, and also because of my family. My
Family, huh?
family just like yeah, it's like calling me a mouse sometimes because
I hope endearingly they're
when
calling you
I'm
a
kid,
mouse.
yeah, like right now they even call me Stary in some cases. Well, that's because of my small physique when I was like kids. So as a around let's just say from baby until like 12, my size is not big. Like I would be anywhere and I still like the smallest. Like
Ah.
around the kindergarten, I'm just the smallest.
So,
So
small
that
mouse, lead
small,
to
yeah,
nickname, huh?
and it's not just mouse as well. I mean, like there's a lot of other names, but I like mouse better. There's also fish at some point.
Fish?
Yeah, I was called koi fish.
Koi fish? That is there an origin behind that? Were you like literally a fish in water when you went
No,
swimming,
I
or
think I think it just relates to being small.
I don't think of koi fish as small from what little I know of them. I think of like goldfish as small. Like koi fish are like, aren't they like, pretty big, pretty sizable? I don't know much about koi fish. I'm gonna be honest.
Uh, I don't know either. I don't know if it's an insult either. I just knew that it's an animal. So if you ask
I
me how I got into furry next time, then that's basically how I was surrounded by them.
I see. I see. And yeah, we do got confirmation in chat from Hina. Koi fish can become very big indeed. So I'm not sure where koi fish came from in that comparison. If it all started from small physique. Ay ay ay. And hello, Kaz and Hina as
Well, I
well in
mean,
chat.
to humans, I might be just like a koi fish compared to them.
Fair. I suppose koi fish are still smaller than people. Although
Yeah.
now I'm just imagining, Jaws, but it's just a giant koi fish instead of a shark.
Oh god, it's just like a
Yeah.
mouse village in mouse movies and just like koi fish returns.
Koi fish returns. Oh lord. Ay, ay. That will be coming to theaters soon. Estimated summer of never? Something like that.
I would actually watch it.
It would be quite the thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You got like some of those Japanese in it.
Alright. In that case, moving on to another follow up question. Well, you did touch a little bit on the backstory and your story, but what stories or what events have led up to you doing art and streaming as opposed to just you being mouse? Like, is there anything in particular or just something you picked up and never put down?
Um, I would say art has been like a part of me as well, as much as furry. Like as since childhood even. Because at like school, there were
Mm-hmm.
like I would say untapped market or something.
An
There
untapped
were
market
like
of
kids.
something?
There were like kids buying. Well, yeah, the back then stickers were like the coolest thing, right?
Oh, yep, yep.
So yeah, so what I did was like I drew some of those stickers, and then one of the kids was like, "Hey, can I have this?" And my little kid brain just like, I want some money out of this, and that hasn't changed until then, until now. and just like, yeah, I'm gonna do art. I'm gonna get
So,
paid for it.
little kid Stary was just like,
So I guess that's like,
art.
yeah.
Oh, but first, give me the monies. You
I
know,
mean,
it's fair enough. You did something, you want something in return, right?
yeah.
It's just interesting thinking about it from like the perspective, okay, all these kids in playground or in, elementary school, and it's like, ah, yes, it's time to commit the
The
transaction.
funniest thing about it though is that
Mm-hmm.
I drew it out of like, just for fun, but somehow this kid just wanted and just like the first thing I asked is money. It's such an instinct mental at that point.
Ay, ay, ay. Well, something definitely got ingrained in there, and it just kept on going, huh? Still lots of art coming
Yeah,
out.
it sure does.
Okay.
It's at least in one way, since we're in Asia, where I'm living, since that happened, it kind of like allows me to do this career. In most cases, Asian parent doesn't let you do it, but
Hmm.
because money involved, so it's pretty easy now.
Okay. So that does bring up a line of questioning that we'll probably get to later with communities
Sure.
about. So for the moment,
Mm-hmm.
let's see. So that covered the art side. Is there any origin story to you streaming or your when your streaming started overall?
Um, I would say because my streaming starts around COVID starts, so
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
it's sort of a coping mechanism.
That's fair. I know a lot of people started when COVID happened, so
Mm-hmm. And also because I
understandable.
mean, hey, people are watching
Yeah,
around this time.
people will show
We are
up.
we're
It's a good
living
way to
in
show off your
Twitch
stuff, huh?
golden era.
Jeez. Yeah, there's a lot of people who took to Twitch and other online outlets when the virus hit because everything shut down. You're not allowed to go everywhere and all that, huh?
Oh boy, it's painful.
Yeah, but hopefully, most of the people who've done that have found, if not good success, at least good times with it. So, how about you? How about your
Mm-hmm.
experience with streaming? Has it been mostly positive? Has there been big negatives or big events you want to share? Anything
I
that makes your
don't think
streaming.
there's negatives yet. I don't
Oh,
even meet any trolls.
oh.
Which is funny because
Have you
every
even
person
managed
I've
to
met
evade
was
the
like,
follow
have
bots?
met
Like,
trolls.
the
Nope,
hey,
nope, not at
wanna be
all.
famous bots? Wow, you stayed off all the radar then.
For some reason, yeah, I don't know
Okay.
what happened, but I stayed off those people's radar.
Well, sounds like you've been quite fortunate to have good people show up and none of the shenanigans that people seem to like throwing around, huh?
Mm-hmm. And I just like the community as well. Like, I mean, I met you and Cloudy.
Mm-hmm.
Though to be honest, I met Cloudy first.
I have no clue when I met a lot of people in what order. And if you were to ask me, I would just start staring blankly out the window probably because it's like, oh, oh, now I need to chronological. I was never good at history. But Cloudy does seem to have a way to meet a lot of people, even if he's just sitting there trying to
He
be introvert, huh?
does. He does.
Or rather,
Yeah.
a lot of people seem to find their way to Cloudy and then go, "Hey, you're that cute mouse boy,
Actually,
right?"
it's the other way
Something like that.
around. People just find Cloudy.
Ay, ay, ay. I think Cloudy is just trying to just grin and bear it, just nod and keep moving along, huh?
Listen, I'm trying to live.
Yes, living good. I appreciate the efforts to live.
I'm sorry.
It
Don't worry,
fine.
don't worry.
All right. Well, moving along then. We talked briefly on your just plain and simple experiences with Twitch. You seem to just have good experiences and meeting good people. You did bring up a couple of communities, though. So there's the streaming side and the Twitch community I'd like to ask about, but we'll also probably touch on the furry community if you have any stories to share about that, as well as, well, just your. I'm curious about the cultural community around because you did say something about most parents of, well, most Asian parents wouldn't allow child to become artist or something like that. And I'll be asking for elaboration on that in a moment if I am recalling correctly. Brain. But let's start with communities involved in the Twitch community. Is there anything you'd like to point out or say about it? Because I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about Twitch and the communities that pop up.
I mean, we're literally on Twitch as well.
We are literally on Twitch right now, yes.
The things to point out, I think there's not much. As in positive thing, probably raids, because when you raid someone, you just meet new people, and that's kind of the fun thing about it. Like
throwing one community at another.
Just, yeah. Sometimes I just like stays in one stream or something. Maybe not just lurking, but when you like raid, it's like, oh hey, there's new faces. I mean, like you trust people already. You trust the streamers, the original one, if I say so.
All right.
So like, yeah. You in some way it's like kind of nice to keep the vibe as well.
Fair. And another thing that's nice about raids that I'll tangent into. Another thing nice about raids I'll tangent into real quick is so a lot of times when you raid someone, a nice dialogue can open where you're just talking person to person, streamer to streamer with them. You ever have any luck, having either somebody raid or raiding somebody and just meeting somebody that way and having a good chat?
I think I did once. Yeah.
All right.
I did.
Oh, that's certainly good then. I was, pausing in case there was going to be more story out of that, but it sounds like, yeah, just I did. Alrighty. In that case, sounds like we've covered, streaming side of community stuff, unless you got any other comments about, the Twitter sphere, people you've met because of streaming or whatnot. No? Yeah.
Pardon?
Any stories about people you've met via Twitch, Twitter, or just in general thanks to streaming? Where it's like, oh yeah, there is a community out there because of streaming, or just like you've said your piece already?
Well, I've met both of you. That's one thing.
Fair.
The other is that I find that it's kind of easier to talk after like stream. Like the first time you stream is kind of scary, but after that it's like gradually getting better.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of time you stream more and more and you start getting more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And like, the social bar is kind of like leveled up, I guess. Like I wouldn't be talking like this if I weren't streaming back then.
That's fair. A lot of people who just stop talking and, never say a word unless something they are really passionate about pops up.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. In that case, let's pivot over to one of the other communities. So, you mentioned furry community or just furry things being around and just as a constant part of your life. Is there anything about that particular community that you want to talk about or just stands out to you?
The standout part is probably from the way people interact with one another. Like I don't see people like that quick to just accept someone, as in like any other community.
Yeah.
And also the interaction is so different from Because I mean, like you have like these personas and all of that stuff. And I remember, if you remember Steven Universe.
I vaguely remember that, but I was never into it.
There's also a community around Steven Universe, but
Hmm.
that's shows, you know, when it's kind of like
Yeah.
shows, it's more of a fandom than than a community, I guess. I promise you, furry is not a cult.
All right, there we have it. Furries,
But
not a
yeah,
cult.
it's not a cult because I mean, there's no right way of thinking, right? There's like, yeah,
Fair.
but also yeah, because it's very different in a way that you have individual individuality. Is that how you pronounce it?
Individuality, yeah. That's how you do it.
Yes. Okay. Good. I guess that's the charming point of it. Like you can be actually who you are, and not just some random some fan or more of that.
As opposed
So I
to
kind of
random
appreciate
human
that.
number 3 billion.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Like
Yeah.
even the most basic furry have some sort of degree of individualism in a way. Like if you
Okay.
see a fox, at least they belong in a category of foxes, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they at least belong
A
somewhere.
fox is a
So
fox.
that's kind of the fun part of it. Oh gosh, I met like hundreds of foxes in my lifetime.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can definitely imagine. But that is an aspect that hasn't really been brought up to me about furry community whenever I've either talked with somebody who's a furry or furries have come up on the show, which has
Oh
been
really?
more than once so far. But like a lot of
Oh
people
wait,
are
what?
just like, "Hey, it's so wholesome, everything's so fluffy in a very literal sense." Is like, "Okay, I see." But the self-expression's never really been a part that's been talked about. Is kind of like
Mm-hmm.
I guess they just assumed it was assumed because yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot
Oh,
that
and
goes on.
also one
Oh,
thing I noticed, it's like we are somehow a little like on the scale of maturity, or like when I don't know, in social kind of ex social kind of measure or range, we're
mm-hmm.
kind of a little mature in some way because, well, I mean, it might be affected because of the we are now like part of something. Like for example, if you're a fandom of something, you rarely found fandoms who are just like fans who just like a little mature.
As fair, although I've certainly heard of fandoms that are they have their very immature sections, which tend to bring down the lighting for
Mm-hmm,
everyone else.
mm-hmm.
Because as mature as you know things can be, there's also that one guy in the back corner who's just screaming bloody murder over this, that, or the other thing. It's like,
Yeah,
they're
that's
not being
true.
helpful.
That's true. But I mean, in furry community, I wonder because if it's so big or something, but at least it's not that much compared to the other. It's really not that much.
Hmm.
In my experiences, at least, yeah,
Well, as someone
I don't find it
completely
that much.
unexperienced in that community, I will just have to, take your word for that one, huh?
Well, I mean, maybe next time I'll just make a graph about it. It's like how many percent of each fandom. Maybe.
Hey, if you want to, do some deep dive analytics on fandom toxicity and wholesomeness and maturity, I'm sure there's a market for that.
Maybe, yeah.
I know I watch way too many deep dive YouTube videos about creepy things in the corner of the internet, so there's
Oh,
always
you
going
mean
to
like
be an
those
audience.
YouTube dark web videos?
Oh
Dark web?
yes.
No, sorry, dark web.
And this is the story of how somebody vanished off the face of the earth 3 times. Like, yeah. Those types of videos I will watch forever, so I'm certain that if you just had, a deep dive talk about literally anything that you're passionate about, somebody will, watch at some point, huh?
At some point, yeah. In some way, it's kind of like a learning experience as well for them, so yeah.
Yeah. Although, the idea that, somebody might pop out of a bush while they're walking past
Why
the
do I
park
have
or something.
cricket?
Oh. Crickets?
No.
No?
There's like a note of cricket somehow.
There's a note of
Don't
cricket.
mind
Wait
it.
a second. I'm just now imagining a piece of paper with a cricket drawn on it that says "Remember."
Yeah, that's actually what happening.
I
was like a little scared by it because it's big.
Big cricket. All right.
It just like blends in with the floor, and it's like, oh my god.
Well, follow up for the final of the community-related questions, as it was. There was the brief mention of well, I'm not sure how to phrase this properly, so I'll just ask it a different way. In your culture and in the familial expectations one might see, you sounded like you mentioned you're fortunate to have your parents be who they are, so you could be an artist, if I'm hearing that right. Would you care to elaborate on that a bit more? Because, well, I don't know very much about any cultures, so expectations or standards, I don't know. Yeah.
There's this stigma around Asian parents. Well, yeah, I just say it's Asian parents because this affects Vietnam and all the other Southeast Asian.
Okay.
Usually parents won't let you do art, or well, they do allow you. They don't want you to be in career of that because I think it's because the market for that in here is not that much. Apparently, it's not big, especially in Malaysia. There's not much. There's not much going around for that.
So they see it as a
know,
deadish market, and they're like, get a real job. If you're gonna draw, get a real job. That type of thing, huh?
Yes, that's exactly what happens. But then my parents are not like that because, partly because I guess because it just makes money. Like you see, like I give some examples of like I don't know PewDiePie, if you remember him, and like some other YouTubers and stuff like that, and just like, yeah, that makes money, so go on.
Well, I suppose that's a very practical way to have your parents looking at it. I was like, oh, you make money with this? Okay, well that's fine. Like,
yeah, I mean that's how you convince someone. At least you just give examples, and then you might not make money yet, but I mean, there's chances. Oh God, help me.
Oh God, oh God, help me is not what you want to hear out of somebody's mouth after it's saying there's a chance. Oh no.
I'm just joking, man. So, don't worry. You will make money. Probably after you practice.
Yes. There's a lot that goes into getting good at it, and just finding people to, well, sell it to, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. But going back to that furry community again.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's really it's not that people saying that memes just like furry suspiciously rich furries or something like that.
Yeah.
That thing happens. Like,
oh, I am familiar with the suspiciously wealthy furry approaches artist type of meme. It's like, okay. I'm also familiar with some of the saving that goes on around it.
they just like have this abundance of money. Just like, what if I just commission art instead of gambling or something?
I've also heard some of the stories from the less suspiciously
Oh,
wealthy but suspiciously wealthy furries, where it's like, okay, this one, all right, so I'm just gonna save money by only eating one sandwich every day. And then a year from now, I'll be able to afford this artist who will then be able to draw my persona eating a sandwich.
that does not sound healthy, but also very, very ironic. Why?
I don't know. That's the one story I
I don't
know.
think I should ask why.
I don't know why I had a similar
I'm just gonna
story.
ask.
You had a similar story?
Yeah, like
Drawn though.
I've
Did they
seen
ever get
somebody like
drawn?
literally go like, "Oh, I'm gonna only drink water for a good month, and then I will commission that." I'm like, "What?
Oh,
Why?
yeah.
Why though?"
Listen, they really want their art. And I have no clue if the art from my story in particular or if my story was even a true story, but why? Because they really want that drawing. They really want that art.
That
I,
also baffles me in some way.
hmm
Like some people would just buy these things.
Well, I'm certainly not one to speak here as I have commissioned many things and in the process of commissioning
Yeah.
many things.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged.
Listen, like, from my perspective as the consumer in the equation, the client in the equation, I look and it's like, oh, you can do something that I cannot. I could try to do that, but it would take, a very long time to train. So, well,
Yeah, that's most people not talk about. Like,
yeah. Most people
yes,
say
art is something
talent.
you can
No, it's a
do.
skill.
Yeah. There's always two sides of it. Like, some people would just say that everyone can do it, and there's also some people who just like only some people can do it, and both of them not wrong. It's just a matter of
Interpretation.
who. Yeah.
Because everyone can pick up a
Who and
pencil
when.
right now and try to draw something. Not everybody's going to stick with it until they get good.
Yep. It's a painful process, by the way.
I
It's just art is just something that when you get into, you just don't really get out of it.
I
You're just like
attempt a few
in it.
doodles
It's more well, I think that's
and I
why
suffer.
furry community sticks as well. Look,
Oh,
I'm just gonna live free for like a week and then come back.
be free. Jeez. There's a lot about that community that does wind up being shared about. It's like, yeah, there's
Oh,
occasionally questionable things that that all that, yes. But then there's also, the questionable wholesome stories like what me and Cloudy shared with the oh yeah, we're just gonna save food money in order to buy art. Is like, wait a second. And just
Maybe.
people all over the place. Maybe.
Maybe.
Boy, do I gotta send you a box of ramen?
No.
No. Listen, I just bought like 8 big boxes of giant bowls of instant ramen. Do I need to send you one?
Yes,
why are you
please.
buying instant ramen?
Why?
Are you
Because
having
there's a lot of
a
it.
party or something?
No, it's basically my work lunches for the upcoming months because work just started for me again.
Oh my
Because
god.
I'm a sub teacher.
Hey,
You're
So
what?
I am a substitute teacher. I will teach when other teachers are
Okay.
missing.
Wait, why substitute teachers eat those? I mean, I was a substitute teacher as well at one point, but I don't. Oh well, I just hope it goes well over there because that is a lot of instant ramen.
Well, it's gonna be like months supplies for me. Like, this is gonna last me months. I'm gonna be good well into the next year.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, I saw a lot of it on sale at Costco. They were like 18 bowls per box, and each box was like $10. So it was like, ah, yes, less than $1 a bowl for lunch for the rest of the year. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
I should have done the same thing.
Just $1 for your life expense.
And with the money I saved eating this ramen, I can commission an artist to make me draw ramen. Wait, no, I messed up the sentence.
Oh, hey, we're going back circle. So the story was actually Saru. It's not.
Yeah, it was my story all along. I ate ramen every day for the rest of the year, so I could commission an artist to have me eat ramen. That was.
It was Saru all along.
Can't believe it.
Well, listen, you don't gotta expose me like this at the very least, huh?
Can't believe him.
You're in the interview. We're trying to, expose all your not secrets.
Oh yeah. Expose me. I said that wrong, but okay.
We don't need to dwell on it, though.
Yeah.
All right. And hello, Nip. So our next questions regarding all this that we've talked about before, art and, life, the universe, and all that. Do you have any inspirations or major influences that you look up to or you'd, be able to point at and say, yeah, them over there, they're why I do this?
Well, that's a lot. There's a lot. I mean,
there's a lot. Do you want to, pick a few and say, or do you want to speed around through and say a lot?
Yeah, but I mean, if by category, like, we'll start off with Twitch. Right?
All right, we'll start off with Twitch
then.
That's
like the biggest thing here. I would say Old Gray Hair, if you ever heard of them.
Can't say I have.
Because the way they, somehow they're just like really, really chill, but also like still keeping people. But because I've seen people streams like chill stuff, but not really engaging, because there's like a fine line between engaging and chill, right?
Yeah.
And you have to keep both. Yeah, and that's kind of difficult sometimes. And when someone pulled that off, you're just like, wow, I want that. I'm gonna learn from this.
Oh, that's fair enough then.
Cloud, you're good. If by art, there's a lot. I mean, you can see my follows on Twitter. Not plug in.
Well, our current only link in the command is your Twitch, so if your Twitch links to your Twitter, everybody go over there if you want to take a gander, huh?
It's just at StaryNighte. It's literally my name anywhere.
Now, is StaryNighte with an E at the end? All right?
Yeah.
That's
with an E at the end.
That's a little bit of an unusual spelling for a lot of people, so the StaryNighte with the E at the end. Yes. And if you want to link the Twitter, go ahead.
But for art, there is one person who's always like consistent with my way of doing art. It goes by the name of Martin Hello, if you ever heard of it.
Can't say I have. Not off the top of my head, at least.
But but the way they drew is very interesting, because they don't really follows rules in some way. They love to break rules, and I like that. Not the breaking rules part. Like the way they interpret art is just like, they don't have rules basically. Like they know, and then they just break it. And I like that process of just like learning and then using. Yeah.
Fair enough.
And they make very cute art, so yeah.
Oh, I know one of the things that's commonly said is you got to know the rules before you can break the rules, huh?
Yeah. That's basically art.
All right.
And to be honest, there's not really much of rules. They're just more of like
The base ideas and concepts you can play with.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Shape, color,
mm-hmm. It's like
shadow, all this. Yeah.
tools, yeah, tools.
There is so
That's one
much. And
way.
I, look at art and it's like, oh, yes, my attempt to doodle is arguably worse than stick figures.
Hey, come on, you can draw stick figures.
Well, yes, but I can't, do the super awesome stick figure fights. And my doodle pales in comparison to that, huh?
That's animation. That's another different
Fair.
level.
That's a whole different set of things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ay. These so many people developing so many skills with so many tools. Ay.
Mm-hmm. Animation and art goes in hand, but two completely different skills.
Aye. Yep. And trying to animate without any art behind it is just, oh, hey. Well, what do? We make nothing move. Amazing animation.
I mean, there's photography.
Fair, there is photography.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who do a lot of stuff with that.
Do you not remember stop motion? Those are not art. Like not painting kind of art.
Not
Those
painting or drawing,
objects.
although you got to figure out what you're going to do with that, and there's a lot of going on. There are so many fields of
but that's
art.
still animation.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
they are two different skills.
All right. Well, any more influences or inspirations you'd like to chat on and continue going on?
I'm trying of thinking the goods one, like just sorting out, just filtering out the good ones.
That's definitely
And
fair.
yeah, and like personality, I guess. Is that a valid inspiration? I don't know.
I mean, you can be inspired by the way someone acts in their personality, yeah.
Yeah. I would say it's a mix of if you remember Jontron and then Jacksepticeye. Those two things, those two people have been like in like my high school kind of idols.
So
I kind of
the people,
like,
the content
them.
creators you look up to, and okay.
Yeah. I don't necessarily, sometimes I don't like the content, but I just like the way they talk, basically.
Their
It's just, like,
energy, their personality, all that, yeah.
Yeah. Like they're rambunctious sometimes, sure, but they're like at the appropriate time, and like the jokes make sense and all that. None of that.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
The more you know, the more you know. People over there on the side of YouTube.
The more you know.
Yeah, the more you know, the more you know. People over there sitting on the YouTube side being like, all right, I'm just going to do my own thing, top of the morning, and all that. And like, now we're, flash forward to here. Mice sitting around a table interviewing each other and their name comes up, huh?
Yeah.
I can only imagine how they'd react being like, wait a second, I inspired that in some way? Like,
I'm pretty sure they don't watch this.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they won't either, but you can just imagine it coming full circle somehow and being like,
oh yeah,
wait, it's fun to imagine their reactions, huh?
It's a ripple effect.
Mm-hmm. Things propagate all
it's
over
funny
the
to
place.
talk about ripple effect now, because I just last night I just found out like there's someone who inspires Minecraft.
Oh.
Minecraft isn't just like an original idea. It actually comes from someone who made Space Cam. Someone who makes Space Cam and just like that guy really just straight up makes new genres. Not even just make games; they just make new genres.
Just
And
all right,
I
new genre go.
kind of inspired by that as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm inspired by that as well because I'm. If for those who don't know, I'm actually a game developer as well.
Oh, you are.
And some, yeah, I do.
Hmm.
I am developing one as of now, but I mean, sometimes you just gotta be a little quiet about it because it's not
Ah,
done.
not done, not a demo to get the
It's
hype
not
up
like
or
art.
anything. It's just working on it all.
Yeah, it's not like any other medium where you're just like, okay, here's a work in progress. Or just like game is just like this confiscated thing you just have to keep until you finish it,
Yeah,
which is kind of weird. But I mean,
you bring up a work in progress, and they're like, "Well, what is this wall of code? This makes no sense to me."
or they might just plagiarize it one
Yeah,
way or
that as
another.
well. It's like, "Oh, that's a good idea, but I code faster." Like, ugh. Yeah.
Uh, gonna be painful.
Ay, ay, ay. Well, best of luck with making a game then. I'll be looking forward to whenever you
Hmm.
announce that, hey, game.
Two of them, in fact,
Two,
but
two
yeah.
game. Double the game. All right.
That's why I use the entertainer instead of any other like artist or something. It
Yeah.
just doesn't fit.
You want the
Like
more
when you're an
blanket
entertainer,
term.
you basically do a lot of things.
Big ol' umbrella term be like, I will entertain you one way or the other.
Oh, I don't think that came out well, but okay.
Ay, ay, ay. Not gonna, think too hard on that one then if that was a.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. All right. Well, without a misspeak fumble from me, apparently, let's trail on to. Oi. Let's trail on to another question. So, are there any messages you'd like to just throw out there to the world to either people trying to get into art, streaming, or any other community or hobby? Just
Wait,
words
are
of
we
inspiration?
ending?
No, this is just a ending a segment.
Okay.
We're moving on from streaming after
Because this
this.
is kind of like a strange segue. I mean, like usually you say that question is like at the end.
No. That's like we're not talking about streaming after this too much. So this is wrapping up the streaming segment. After any
Okay.
any messages you want to say to people trying to get into this topic,
Oh, the streaming part. Um, I would say if you're like really beginning, if you really want to start, I would say just press that button, start, just do it, and also lower your expectation really, really, really low. Like even if you
Oh
just like meet one people, that's good enough. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it actually benefits you more to stream than you know monetize or something. That's not really the point. It's more of like when you stream, you really have this social benefits out of it, and like try to talk with other streamers as well. I would say that just like make engagement, not parasocial, no, like actually DMing them, if they allow
socialize.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
parasocial is very, very serious topic around this, and then that's
Oh
another stream
yeah.
for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of
But
words
I
that go
mean,
flying around
just
that.
yeah. But I mean, just interact is what I must say. The whole point of stream is to interact. So therefore, you interact with someone off stream as well. Just make a connection. Just on that note, on that really, really big tangent, do not make friends with someone for streaming.
Yeah, make
Make
friends to
friends
make
because you want to be
friends.
friends. Yeah,
Friends are friends, not tools.
indeed they are not.
All right. I think that's a good message to, throw out there for anybody who wants to get into streaming or get into something, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, putting the streaming topic behind us probably, unless, well, you decide you want to talk about it more.
Maybe there is some tangent along the way, but I mean,
Well,
yeah,
our next
it
category of
happened.
questions is literally a free space.
This
Because
category.
the category is, well, first of all, just in general, is there anything you'd like to share or ask in return? Retaliation, revenge questions, something like that. Is there anything you just want to get off your chest or figure out from other people?
I don't think there's much. I mean, if you want me to ask a question, I would say how both of you start, especially Cloudy, because he seems to be like still going on. And instead of asking how he started, just how is he still going on?
It sounds like he is dying, so he may be going on
Okay,
his
maybe
last
he's
breath
not
here.
going on anymore.
Ah.
I'm trying. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, how about you then?
All right, how I got started, I'm assuming was.
Yeah.
Well, and I will take the opportunity whenever I'm doing stuff and their name pops up to be like, those two big inspirations, whenever, but a couple years ago, I finally, started watching content on Twitch and, enjoying videos and whatnot. And there's two people, Korean and Sarah Raven Victoria, who were both just two big inspirations with me with building up a community and being just a wholesome person. So I was like, I'm gonna do that. And then I started. So that is the origin story. I saw a couple people and was like, let's go.
I mean, technically, some way or another, it's still the same as me. I mean, you look at someone, you just look. I think most people start like that as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Though I definitely know I've heard a lot of this particular tale from Monsieur Cloudy across the table. I'm not sure if I said that horribly or not.
But I like how you refer him just across the table, like that's
yes,
his
across
name now,
the table,
Monsieur.
Ay. But Cloudy over there, I believe, got started with streaming just as a way to record stuff, basically.
Yes, on my old crappy laptop.
So it's kind of like a happy accident.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yes, Stary?
That was funny when I was like saying happy and Cloudy just coughed and was like,
oh no.
Okay.
No
Happy
die
accidents.
from happy. I swear you should probably be getting some rest, but you're probably gonna stream after this as well, huh?
I'm gonna full send.
He's gonna okay.
Health first.
I tried telling him health first as well. You can get some rest, but
no.
He refused. He wanted to be here.
Workers are not allowed to work when they're sick, so I don't know why you're working when you're sick.
It's fine.
His hobby is not work. That's the excuse, right? Ay.
When you push yourself like that, it's already kind of a...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would still recommend, Cloudy get rest, but...
I got water, it's okay.
He got water.
Someone needs to go to Cloudy and just, like, put him to bed, like, forcefully. Just strap on.
Ay. Well... Should I pivot topic real quick, Cloudy, so we're no longer talking about forcing you to sleep? Maybe. All right. And time for the self-indulgent question of mine, because me, size brain. And then I just completely blank on the question and just pause there, just like,
It's alright. It's alright. Don't play yourself. You're doing it so well so far.
So, you, as the guest, are currently, let's say, what, 2-3 inches tall over there in the tiny set. I do have to say, and just be curious, and this does kind of overlap as well a little bit on the furry side because a mouse is small.
Don't worry.
Do you have any... Oi. So, do you have any experience or exposure with size-related topics where it's like, oh yes, literally small mouse sitting there on the table, or, Godzilla over there? Or is this, the first time you've actually been like 3 inches tall around a set where it's like, oh yes, you are small right now?
Well, in a sense of interviews, no. I mean, the only interviews I did were just like actual real interviews.
Yeah,
like,
I can imagine nobody else
jobs.
is doing size-related interviews like this, where it's like, ah yes, tiny guest on table, welcome.
I think this is, I mean, I feel like this is more of like a furry interview, if I'm most, yeah. But more of...
Fair enough.
Tiny people, yeah.
Well, I suppose we are interviewing a furry, so it's fair.
And none of you are not furry.
Well, I got ears, but I also got skin.
You are either in denial or furry. There's no other choices.
Hi, it's me, Cloudy.
I didn't know I was in Egypt. Is that a river? Like denial?
Oh, why do you have ears? I don't understand that.
Ears?
I mean, I do understand you have ears, but I mean, what about the other one?
The other one?
Like the small human ears.
Oh. Do I actually have ears under that? Because I'm
you don't have that. I don't...
Yeah, like, double ear is definitely a topic that comes up with a lot of, the kimono mimi... I completely butchered saying that. Kimono mimi ears, the animal ears up top. And it's like, there's a lot of times, like, even a show's off-season chibi stuff was like, okay, well, we have this character with cat ears. We're just going to have a chibi clip of them cleaning their ears. And then you're going to, Q-tip up, ear up top, clean both ears. And then they go over to the human ears, and then everyone in the audience is like, wait a second, they have 4 ears. It's like... Right?
In real life, that would actually be terrifying to just see a creature with 2 sets of ears.
All the better to hear you with.
They are a great listener for sure.
Yeah. One theory is, the upper ears are just decorative. The other theory, and this is one that I've been amused by, is that the human ears are actually fake ears on a headband so they can wear glasses.
I think I like that idea as well.
Like, they just have, little headband, put it on their head, they got the human ears now, and now they can properly wear glasses which are designed for human ears. And we have a question from the audience for you. Kaz asks, quote, I see comics on your Twitter. Could you tell me a little about them and where I can read them?
Oh, God, you're talking about that comic.
Oh, no, were you not expecting that to come up?
It's in the working. It's in the working, for sure. Mostly right now, I'm just polishing the stories and all of that. But there has been, 2 pages. I'm sure you've seen it on Twitter as well. Those actually made it to 10 pages, but only 2 of them that actually got colored. The rest are just not colored, so it's not posted. It's just in my folder. So the reason I got disappointed around it is because the style I was going with it is it takes a little bit of toll on me. So the next time I try to rewrite that comic, I will try to make it less less of like tall, because I mean I got a lot, like 2 other projects, a lot more. So you gotta maybe I'll post it there if I were to start. Wait, I get it wrong. I mean, I will post the comic there on Twitter if you ever want to read it.
Okay.
Soon, for sure.
Well, Kaz, it sounds like just keep an eye on the Twitter then.
So yeah, that's where you can read it. It's not available yet, but it's beyond Twitter.
Soon. Soon. Who knows how soon is soon, though? All right. Well, in that case, that also makes a... Oh, wait. Did Discord just go robot beep on Stary? Stary, are you there?
Uh-oh.
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 Squeak to Stary. Come in, Stary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It sounded like everything died for a moment. Oh, no. Well, thanks to Kaz's question,
My
we
back.
have... Oh, I think you're back. Can you hear me? Squeak once if you squeak. Hey, that's not a good question, but I don't think Starry can hear us. Okay, I think we may have some technical difficulties here. I don't have a plan for technical difficulties, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, that sounds like the plan. Just stop and die.
Yep.
Oh, are you back?
Oh.
Okay, good.
Oh.
My back.
You are back. There we go. Days until next incident, back to 0, right? No more days until the incident. It has happened. All right. Well, welcome back.
It had to do with my phone.
Discord suddenly exploding was a little bit dangerous, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why Discord does that sometimes. I think that's just a thing now.
All right. Well,
they are getting bigger. Yeah.
At the very least, we can pivot questions now that you exist to potentially continue on the conversation, huh? And
yeah, I don't know where I left off.
I think you just finished the tangent about the comics and posting them on Twitter soon, and then the next questions in the next category was going to relate back to your art experience, actually, rather directly.
Oh, okay.
So, the first question in that category I have for you, and I think you've already answered it to a degree, but I want to just, restate it and ask it again. How long have you been drawing? How long have you been doing art?
Since childhood. Since childhood, basically. I saw my dad drawing, and then I was like, okay, I want to draw that. And so I started drawing.
Fair enough.
And I never stopped. Well, maybe I did stop for like 1 to 2 years, but I mean, technically it's just a hiatus.
Yeah, hiatus is a... Oh, I see hiatus everywhere. It's like, oh, I like this, manga hiatus. Oh, no. Hiatus is a cursed word for me. Oh, no.
It's just how art be.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they gotta take a break. I was looking forward to it, but I gotta, respect that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, all right. Well, you've been drawing for a very long time. What types of art do you do? What types of drawings or what types of mediums do you make art in?
Cartoony.
Cartoony?
Medium, that's not the question. I mean, I literally draw on sand as well. And I would say cartoony.
So, cartoony style, but one second. Let me catch back up with that. The medium, you said, not a question. You draw on anything, sand, digital, paper, just whatever you can get your hands on?
Indeed.
Oh. I know a lot of people tend to stick to, like, I just draw physical or I just draw digital or something like that. So...
Mm-hmm. I do know some people like that as well.
The fact that you go everywhere, that's kind of unusual for me so far in my limited exposure.
Well, you gotta expose more for sure. But I mean, for me, art is just like it's a form of expression,
Mm-hmm.
and when you can do it on anything you can get into, it's useful. For example, you don't know how to speak. A lot of people don't remember, don't like take advantage of this, but you don't know how to speak, sign language. At least you can draw. At least you can, maybe there are foreign people. You can use your words. You can use English because they don't know English. They don't know sign language as well. So the way you do it is just draw on paper. At least they understand.
Fair. Fair.
So that's the advantage of it. Yeah. Or you can like fold paper or something. It's a
It's
lot. It's useful.
it's a universal way to
It's a
communicate.
tool of expression. Yeah, art.
All right.
As long as you have eyes, I think people without eyes can also do that. So my bad to
Um.
blind people.
Yeah, I don't know how they would personally because I have never dealt with that particular disability. So I'd honestly be curious to ask somebody that question, but that is a question for another time and another person, huh?
Mhm. 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 Because I still have eyes for sure.
Yeah, I think I have eyes. Occasionally, when I pick colors, people will be like, "How did you pick those colors? You have no eyes." But I'm like, I think I have eyes sometimes.
You just think. You think.
I think, therefore I see. That is not how that quote goes.
Oh, I hope that's real though for some people. I'm sure they want that to be real.
Mm-hmm.
Just think and you just see, believe. Oh boy.
Oh. Oh boy, indeed. All right, and this question, I did ask you beforehand to get a little bit of time to prep, but I asked if there was any art you wanted to show off. And you did come up with one piece of art that I believe I finally got to display properly. So, let's see. Did I put it somewhere? Was this one the... No, not that one. Give me a moment. I may have
Don't worry.
placed it somewhere. I may have
Well,
completely...
you didn't actually you didn't ask what art you well you did ask what art you want to show, but I mean you just like when it comes up. So I'm just like, um,
Yes, it is
when it
coming
comes up, I
up. So,
guess.
is there any other art you want to, show off as well while I'm trying to fiddle with this and display it?
Sure. I
All
think I
right.
have
Well,
some in my phone.
I would advise you do your best to dig it up then while I'm fiddling around because me incompetence can only buy so much
Don't worry.
time. But the screen that you're displayed on, ever so handily,
Mm.
is also just a screen we can use to display. So, behold one of
Oh.
the art pieces that Stary has done. Huh?
Uh-huh.
And if you have any others that pop up for just stuff you want to show off,
Yeah,
well,
I'm trying to find it in my phone.
this is why I was like, hey, beforehand, like, anything you want to send over, share. How convenient indeed that the
Mm,
screen doubles as a screen, right, Kaz?
wow, look, it's being a
It's a
screen.
screen.
It's screen being a screen. What more could you possibly want?
But yeah, the actual visual you see for Starry there, which that visual is animated, so let me pull that up real quick as well. Because the current implementation I've got removed the animation from the GIF loop, so pardon me for a minute as I derp some more. We are full derp right now. Me am derp.
Derpy boy.
Derp. Behold, Starry Draw.
I like just behold.
Behold. Stary also talk.
I put like 4 of them.
Oh. And we do have a
there
few
you
more
go.
pieces. Let's see. I will just start bringing them up in order and give them a
now
few
I'm hungry.
moments. Behold. Consume burger.
Consume. I'm hungry now.
Honestly,
Come to
that
the
is a
table.
lot of... You gonna eat the table?
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, we have our guest on the table.
But it's fine. It's on
It's-
the
What?
side of the table. It's fine.
It's fine.
Relax.
Okay, you know, just don't eat the whole table because we do have Stary on the table.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna.
Oh no, for we do not need people saying eat the guest. The next piece that you want to share for display, which
That's me and Gray.
oh, looks like
Yeah.
just chilling at a restaurant. Looks like setting. You're in a booth and everything.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh,
It's sort of like a cafe, I guess.
yeah, does have that cafe feel, huh? All right. Bringing up the next one. Now this looks like some unique characters as far as I could see.
That's the comic before.
Ah, the comic. Okay.
There's actually 4 people. One of them got removed. It's the red
Oh.
one.
Rest in peace, rat. Rest in peace. Okay, so
Because
from the comic. I see. Sorry to have cut you off there with being like, ah, yes, the comic.
no, you're not cutting me off. I'm just like saying, yeah, that's the comic originally before it got cut off.
All right. And the last one of the batch you've brought up for sharing.
And that's a commission.
Oh. No?
Yeah.
There's some good art being shared here.
It's old commission, but it's still mine.
I mean, just because you did it a while ago doesn't mean it's, any less good, huh?
Not, yeah, I guess. Sometimes you just gotta be a little proud. It's not like bragging. Just at least you did it.
Taking pride in, well, this is something I did, and I think I did a good job, dang it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, the client also says a good job, so. Alright, that's good book on.
If you're happy with it, the client's happy with it, that sounds like everybody involved is, all good, huh?
There's nothing to say else. There's nothing to,
Fair enough.
There's no argument here.
All is, just working as intended, huh? All right.
All according to Kikaku.
Ah, yes, Keikaku. Let's go. All right. Well, any other stray thoughts about just the art you do or shameless self-shilling being like, hey, go commission me now or something like that before we move on to wrapping up?
I would not actually promote that around this time. Because my commission is just like to the brim.
Oh, you are busy, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
apparently, which is very, like, it baffles me as well. Like, I didn't know people actually interested to the point it filled up, which is like, mind you, there's like 15.
Oh, geez, 15 slots are all filled for the commission. Yay.
Yeah, I originally I do not put slots. I just like let it go on.
But then you start seeing how many people have built up, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, sure, I can take them. Just like,
I guess we won't shamelessly shill for Stary here. Give Stary a break and then give them money later, right?
Yeah, for now I wouldn't. I mean, I am promoting like my social media and stuff, but the commission part probably not now.
Yeah, busy times are busy times. Best of luck getting all that sorted then.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, in that case, and now this is going to sound a lot more like a wrap up. So maybe I should, pivot. Actually, I skipped a question, but it fits in here too. So
You just skip my.
I did skip a question. I missed it, and I was like, "Oh yes, that one." And then the conversation just.
We're professionals, I swear.
Listen, I'm a professional amateur.
You too?
Amateur.
Or is it amateur
I've never
professional?
heard that one before. I like that. Just like
ways.
successfully failing.
Ah, yes. Error, success. All right, but this question fits in real well with the wrap-up segment. So, just looking back in general over streaming, your experience with art and life in general, is there anything you'd change looking back? Anything you tell your past self?
Well, a lot changed for sure. I changed from being quiet to violent to quiet again, and then to being this, little old me.
Fair. I think the framing of the
any-
question got lost. Maybe. Is there anything, knowing what you know now, that if you could go back in time, is there anything you'd change? Like, if you could change history, not did you change throughout your life? So.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna.
Yeah. A little bit different question.
What would I tell a little me?
Yes, what would you tell little you?
I would say not to harm yourself. And just be patient. That's the two things I would say.
Things.
I mean, like, be patient and don't harm yourself in one way or another.
All right. That would definitely be a good message for a lot of people to take to heart, huh? And now, instead of looking to the past, let's look to the future a little bit. So, do you have any major, super big goals for yourself?
Oh yeah, I would like to be a CEO, and I'm actually working on it.
Oh, that's a lot bigger of a goal than I was expecting, to be honest. A CEO.
Don't worry.
Like, I'm like, oh, CEO. There's only like 6 people that are I'm not even, accurately knowing of. But CEO of what, if I may inquire?
My own business.
Your own
that's
business.
all.
Oh, that's fair. But your own business is definitely a big goal as well. There's a lot to take care of there, I bet.
Oh yeah, there is. There is a lot. I'm currently just like going through it one by one. Hopefully it'll be finished then.
Yeah. Well, best of luck with getting that business running, huh? Jeez, that is a really big goal. All right, how about smaller goals? Oh wait, you had something?
No, I mean, I wonder why is that big goal to some people. I mean, it's just starting out business. A lot of people can do that.
Well, yeah, but
I mean,
there's a lot that goes
I guess
into
it's because of like the same situation as art. Like, or everyone can do it. It's a matter of if you're really persistent on doing it. Yeah.
If you persist, and like especially with a business, there is a lot of stuff that goes into it, and like even with just setting up these interviews, talking with people,
for sure.
arranging things, and getting people like Kaz to, do all the assets. It's like, So, having an official business is like, oh, that sounds like die.
Yeah, especially you have to deal with government as well.
Yep.
So that
huge
forms,
commitments.
regulations, making sure you're up to everything for everything.
9 yards.
That sounds daunting. I sound intimidated.
Don't be intimidated. It's just business, basically.
It's just business. Nothing personal.
The old saying. It's just business, my friend. Yes.
Yeah. I think we've gotten off to the wrong type of business with that, quote.
Maybe. And then I'm like co-CEO of this, So,
Fellow Big Squeak.
Yeah, co-CEO. I'm handling the taxes and returns and
Oh, so I could, come to you for all my tax forms, huh? Good to know.
Maybe.
Maybe. Wait a second. We're not gonna mess with the ARS, the IRS. Okay, we're not gonna.
Yes, the ARS.
The ARS. Yes, no, the IRS.
I'm lucky. I'm not around IRS.
Fair enough, huh? Ay.
Although that doesn't mean I'm safe from anything else. It just means I have a different threat.
You have a different, ominously hovering government body that knows your every move and demands your money.
Money.
Yep.
Money. All right. So, taking the scale down a little bit less, are there any future plans you're willing to share that aren't so grand? Maybe, mundane, or in the next week or month or so, that is just a plan you're willing...
get all my jobs done, all the commission stuff. That's my goal right now.
Oh, that's your short-term goal. Just get the commissions done.
Yeah, it's been in my back for a long time now.
Well, good luck with that.
God.
Yeah, you got a lot on your plate there, huh? So good luck with that. Jeez.
Although, talk about a lot being a lot plate. What? How do you say it again?
A lot on your plate?
A lot on the plate, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are just like either depressed or had withdrawn from it, and I understand that having a lot of things on their plate, but the general trick I got up on my sleeve about this whole thing is probably to list it out. If anyone out there who just like, a lot of things going on in their life, probably family or jobs or anything like that, I would say list it out. List it out. When you list something out, it's usually really easy to see what to do next. And like when you list it out, you kind of being in the third person as well. Like you see someone else. Like how would you treat other people who are having this kind of problem? Like for example, you have a depression, right? So well, list it out what you're upset about. And then when you list it, you kind of see yourself in a different way, and you start to figure things out after that. So the first step I would say is to list it out to any of these kind of being overwhelmed situation.
Okay, so just get all the information out there for yourself and take a look at it. Just completely, actually understand what you're looking at, as opposed to just, hey, I have a dozen things that I don't know any of them. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's easy to get trapped in that and just like, oh, I have a lot of things. Like you remember all the things you must do, but when you list it out, you can sort it out more easily, so to say.
Yep.
It doesn't vaporize the problems, no. It just makes them easier to deal with.
No, how simple things would be if it did vaporize it all, though.
You don't fight big bosses right off the bat.
I'm just imagining. Wait, there was an anime about that. Writing down a list and your problems just get vaporized. That's basically just Death Note, isn't it? Write down the name and the heart attack. But yeah, that's definitely a message. Oh, what was that?
Is that a list anymore?
I mean, it would be a
There's one,
list.
like,
It may be a hit list, but it's still a list, huh?
I heard hit list.
Yes, hit list. So, yeah, just writing out all your problems, and if they all just vaporize, that's basically the death note, right?
Maybe.
Ay. But yeah, it is a good idea to get everything listed out like you said. Make sure you have an understanding of all the problems you're actually facing and figure out an actual plan to tackle it.
Doing this interview as well, you list out questions.
Yeah?
It makes them easier for you.
My brain is also small, so if I didn't have the question over on the right, I'd be like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
Yes, interviewee Stary, what is next in the investigation interview? We're not investigating anything. We are not the Federal Bureau of Cheese. Yes, interrogation. Where were you on the night of tonight?
That's usually my. Wait a minute.
Ay. Okay. Well, I think that sums up all my questions. So, Cloudy, you have any questions laying about?
Actually, no, because a lot of it got answered without, Okay, I'm trying to try my best not to cough.
All right, fair enough.
Don't worry. Just cough
Listen,
if you need to.
I would be offering to, split the questions with you, but sick, I'm just going to carry on this time. Huh?
He's fine. Sick mouse hour, sick dimensional mouse hours.
All right. Well, Stary, any last questions for us or any last comments you want to give to the audience?
Wait, are we ending?
Now we are ending, yes. It's been like an hour and a half, actually. So that's why I'm saying last.
A longer interview. Okay.
Actually, this is on the long side of interviews already. They're usually about an hour long for a couple of them.
Oh.
They might get longer as time goes on, it seems.
I mean, you get more better at it, so it gets longer.
But yeah, any last questions for the audience or... Well, questions for the audience. Statements for the audience. I suppose you could ask them questions, too.
I don't think I can see the audience reaction even if my question.
Well, we do have one more question for you from the audience before we wrap things up.
Sure.
When was the last time Stary drank water? Stay hydrated. Or rather, stay hydrated nerd, 4 says, but I decided to drop off that last word, huh?
Don't worry, nerd is a very cute word for me, so it's okay. I don't think nerd is offensive. Why is it offensive?
It's not, but it's like, the intonation is like, yes, stay hydrated, nerd. It's like, oh, heck.
Oh, it's kind of like this bullying kind of tone.
I'm sure this one is meant in the most playful manner of bullying possible, but it's like, yeah, just stay hydrated, huh?
Yeah, I get that, but okay. But
All
I
right.
don't think there is, you need to censor that one.
Listen, if I gotta, relay it, I will relay it in my best way.
Probably this interview, yeah. I'll drink it after this.
Okay.
Still have some liquids in me.
And...
That sounded wrong again. Please stop.
Well, 2 questions. One from the audience again. What were these questions earlier, by the way, people? You could ask them anytime in the interview. Cutsy asks, can the chocolate table be turned into a mouse maze for Stary to run through?
Oh my god. Can you actually do that?
Right? Like, I might have to ask Kaz about that later, because that would be a hilarious thing. It'd be so many layers to get running. But, we could make a table maze for our guests.
Just a table maze.
A maze of chocolate. The amazing chocolate. Oh, no. Sweating.
Oh, no.
Yes. Okay, so Kaz is tentatively saying yes, but also he's terrified. Or they're terrified. My brain always forgets, pronouns at times. So let's just go they. They. Yeah.
They. They is always the safe one.
In that case... I'm trying to wrap this up. They're going to try to bring up another question, but with us wrapping down here, finishing up, is there anybody you'd like to send the viewers from this interview to in a raid? Is there anybody who is currently live on Twitch that you're aware of that you would like everybody to scatter off to?
Yeah. Talk about raid before.
All right. Let me just, well, I will need the spelling, and I will check if they're live and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Question, huh?
And this chocolate's pretty good.
Chocolate good, though. Wait a second, you're reading the... that's why it's chocolate. You ate the last table, too.
Yes.
All right, so how do I spell that username? Stary?
What?
The person we are potentially going to raid. How do I spell their username?
Wait, are you asking me?
Yes, I am asking you.
Oh.
Who you want this stream to raid as we're wrapping down? Who are we going to send all the people from the interview to?
I thought you were referencing
No,
to...
I am directly asking you.
The viewers. Okay.
I am asking you, the interviewee, who you want to send everybody to.
Maybe, Space Ian?
Alright, how...
Because your voice reminded me
How
of
do I spell?
him, so... Space and then Y-E-E-N.
Space Y-E-E-N. Let's see if they are currently live. Looks like they are not.
Oh?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, they
not?
are not live. So, any other candidates?
I don't know. There's not a lot on top of my head.
Alright, well, in that case, we can just, wrap it up and we don't gotta send the raid off to anybody, huh?
Maybe you should rate, but I mean, I don't know who it's to.
Alright, well, I do have a few of my usual suspects. Would you rather it be sent to a artist, a mouse, or a rat, or any other qualifiers I can use to narrow down my list?
Mouse.
Mouse. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Mouse good.
I see 2 mice on my list online. One is playing Amnesia, the other is doing art, so...
Yeah, probably just art because it goes along with what we're going.
Alright, in that case, we are going to send the raid off to a mouse artist, the lovely Mousy Magic. And,
wait,
well...
before that,
what?
Did you ask me a question before? I don't...
I
think you asked me a question and then I was like...
I think I was trying to ask
you... Was there
you...
any question before that?
Like, I went from... Are there any final thoughts to... Alright, who do you want to send the viewers to for the raid? So, I don't think there was a missed question. There might have just been the missed question where I was asking you and not the audience the first time. That might have been it. Either way, any message you want to...
I don't have a question, but I would...
Oh.
Yeah, I think message would be the only one I would do. I don't think any question would...
Any raid message you want people to attempt to holler in the chat as we go as well. Because as the guest, I want to leave it in...
being used.
Yeah, raid messages are... If people want to...
No, holler.
Oh, holler. Oh, yes, hollering. Just big ol' yelling. I'm gonna holler at the sky.
Okay.
Yeah. So, any message or just... it seems like it's gonna go, so we may need to be quick with that, huh?
I think be kind, be patient is all.
Alright.
Just, like, be kind, be
And
patient.
the raid is going, so copy-paste this if you can. Goodbye, everybody. Be kind, be patient, and take care, everybody. And that is...